All right, guys, now let's have a look at here. It's question 9, which is a cubic function given by f of x is equals to x cubed minus 6x squared plus 9x minus 4, and then they also factorize it for us. And then the first question here, 9.1, says that we need to find the value, show that k is equal to 1 when factorized, right? Okay, so now let's have a look at this one. Here's 1 there, so we need to show that k is equal to 1. So therefore 9.1, in this case we're gonna have to say what is given to us. They give us x minus 4 and therefore x minus k all squared. So guys, there's many ways you can do this. You can use long division, but I'm gonna choose this one because I think it's much easier and straightforward. It won't confuse you guys. All right, so minus k, then we're gonna expand this one, remove the bracket, we do binomial. All right, I'm gonna start with the bracket this side. X times x is going to give us x squared, x times k minus xk. So we're gonna have here negative, when you add it together with this one, negative 2xk, then negative k times negative k plus k squared, all close bracket. Therefore now we go ahead and remove the bracket. X times x cube, x squared rather, is going to give us x cube. X times this negative 2xk, negative 2x squared k, then x times k is going to give us positive positive k squared x. Then we go to negative 4. Negative 4 times x squared is going to be negative 4x squared. Negative times negative, positive 4. This one here, I'm doing this one, guys, please don't be lost. 8xk, and then we're gonna have negative 4k squared. All right, so now if we have a look at this here, s cube will stand alone, then this x squared here will go with this minus 4x squared, and then you have got a k here with an x, it will go with a k with an x here. Now you are left with this one here because s cube will stand alone. Now you are left with this one here. This one is a constant. Now if you have a look at here, they already told us the constant is this one, which is negative 4, right? So it means in this case you can say this negative 4k squared is equals to the negative 4 of this one constant that is there. All right, therefore you can divide both sides by negative 4. I hope you guys understood me, right? So this one and this one will go, then you're gonna be left with k squared is equal to 1. Then we're gonna take square roots both sides, therefore k is equal to 1. So we have proven that k is equals to 1. Then you can get your 2 marks there, right? Please let me know what you think, guys, or if you use a different method. I know you can still use long divisions. I have seen some of the teachers and also some of the learners I'm working with using a long division. I'm not gonna show that right here, but as long as you arrive to the same answer, guys, I'm more than happy with that one, right? Okay, calculate the coordinates of the turning point of f of x. All right, so the coordinates of the turning point, they already gave us the function there, 9.2. So what do we have? We know that the turning point, we get it when the second derivative is equal to 0. So that's exactly what we're gonna do in this case, plus 9x minus 4. So first derivative should be equal to 0 to get the turning point. So we drop this one, 3x minus 1 at the top, 2. Here we drop this one, negative 6x. No, sorry, this was 6 squared. All right, made a mistake here. This is supposed to be 6 squared. So 6 times 2 is equals to 12x, and then here we're gonna have 9. It's gonna be 9. You're gonna have just a 9, right? So now this has to be equal to 0. in order for us to get the turning point. If you look at the expression that we have now, everything is divisible by 3. So I'm just going to go ahead and simplify this, divide everything by 3. Going to be left with x squared minus 4x plus 3 is equals to 0. Therefore, factorize x and then x negative 3 and also negative 1. Therefore, x is equals to 1, or x should be equal to 3. Right. So therefore, in this case, you're gonna go into our function, substitute 1 into our function, which gives me 0. And then, or also we substitute 3 into the original equation, guys. And then this one, when I put in a 3, it is giving me negative 4. So therefore, it means our turning point is at a point 1, 0. Number the question says coordinates, guys. So if you stop here, you are not showing the coordinates. So your final answer should be given in a form of coordinates. So negative 4, 0. Right. So that will be our coordinates. Okay, let's move on to 9.3. 9.3 says here, describe the concave of the function at x minus 1. Right. Remember now, concave, you get it when you make the second derivative 0. This one is the one that shows you the point of inflection. Right. So let's go ahead. We already know the first derivative. We calculated on the previous equation, which gave us 3x squared minus 12x plus 9. So now let's go ahead, take the second derivative, which will give us a 2. Drop the 2 times 3 is going to give us 6 minus 1. There you go. And then 12, just going to be 12 like that. So therefore, we can say this should be equal to 0 for us to see the concave up or the concave down. So now here we are. Let's go look at where is the point of inflection sitting. Remember, guys, this question is basically asking you, they are asking you for you are looking for this point so that you can say this one is down, concave down. This one, starting from this point going there, it will be concave up. So basically, you are looking for this point because it's the one that distinguishes between concave down and concave up. 6x is equals to 12 divided by 2. X is equal to 2. So this is our point of inflection. So we found x is equal to 2. So the value in question is x is equals to minus 3. So x is, let's say this is x is minus, is x is equals to 2. X minus 3 is somewhere here, which means our function is going down because our a value here is positive. So therefore it would mean that is going down. So therefore we can come here and say, describe the concave at x. We can say concave down, because this value is less than the point of inflection. So this simply means if it was greater than the point of inflection, we are going to say concave up. Right. So I hope you guys get it. So let's move on to the next question. 9.4. 9.4 say, draw the graph, label the turning point and intercepts with the axis. All right. So now we're going to have to draw this function right here, 9.4. Okay, 9.4. We're going to draw this one. Okay. Just going to draw it clearly for you guys to see. This is y. And then this is our x. If you can still remember, what do we have? We have got our x-intercept at 1. Okay, let's say this is 1 here. That's our point of intercept. Or let me rather use a different color for you guys to see the function clearly. This is 1 point of intercept, and then we also have got another point of intercept which was at 4. If you guys can remember very well, this is, we have got x is equals to 4 here, and then when k is equals to 1, we've got another point there, right? So let's go ahead and do the turning point. 1 is to 0 and 3 is to 4. Okay, turning point 1 is to 0, so it means this is also a turning point. Therefore, y-intercept is what? Our constant here is equals to 4. So we're going to have a point, what? -4 here. So -4, it's our point. And then the turning point, another turning point is given by what? Remember, there's another point, turning point there of 3 is to -4. Yeah, this is the turning point. I think 3 somewhere there. Turning point here. This is our turning point here. Turning point number 2. Then we also got a turning point number 1 there. So now it means that our curve is just gonna turn there, and then also going to turn here, and then it's gonna go up. There you go. That's our f of x right there. So at this point, remember the point of inflation is somewhere here between 2. What was it? It was 2. Yeah, we didn't find the y value, but it was 2, right? So this is our function looking like this, right? Moving right along, let's move to 9.5. It said calculate the maximum vertical distance between f and h. So this is the distance between two functions, where h is given by -2 and the first derivative. Great. Right, there's many ways to kill a cat. Either we can do this. Let's see, we just need to find the function of h of x first, right? So they're saying h of x, which is a function, is given by -2 f of x derivative, like that. Okay, so let's go -2. We know the first derivative, we did calculate it previously. It was given to us by x squared minus 12x, and therefore plus 9, close bracket. And then now let's remove the bracket here, so that to make our life easier is going to be -2 times 3, -6x squared. Therefore negative, and then gonna be positive 24x, and therefore minus is gonna be -18. Then you're gonna have h of x. There you go. So this is our new function. So the difference, the distance between two of the two function, I always remember it as the distance between the two function. You can say f of x, which is our function, minus h of x. This will give you the distance between the two function. So let's go ahead and find this one. So it was x cubed minus 6x squared, and then plus 9x minus 4. There you say minus h of x function, which is given by this function that we just find right now, 24x minus 18, close bracket. So therefore x cubed minus 6x squared plus 9 minus 4, okay, sorry, plus 9x minus 4 minus, so when you remove the bracket, you're going to have positive 6 squared, negative 24x, positive 18 there. Great. So now, like terms, negative 6x squared cancel, positive 6x will cancel out. Excuse me, this is x cubed here. I'm making careless mistakes here. Okay, I need to be careful of what I'm doing. Let's come here and see what we have. We're going to have x cubed, right? So we have got 9 here, positive 9, negative 24x is going to give us negative 15x rather. Negative 4 plus 18 is going to give us positive 14. Okay, great. So now in order, now this is our new function. Now So now, if this is our new function, we need to find the derivative of this function equated to 0 in order for us to be able to find the distance between the two functions. Okay, I'm going to say that again. After minusing the two functions, which is this part right here, let me use the different color so that you guys are following. After doing this part, minusing the two functions, now you find the new function, which is the difference between the two functions. This is our new function. However, in order for us to find the actual vertical distance, you must find the derivative and equate it to 0, which is going to be the derivative dx is going to be 3x squared minus 15. Right. So now with that, you're gonna say this is equal to 0. So therefore you're gonna solve for x here, take 15 to the other side, divide by 3, which you are going to have now x squared is equal to 5. Okay, so you take a square root on both sides, your x is going to be equal to plus or minus square root of 5. Great stuff. So now this here would be the vertical distance between the two. So now you can come here and say, okay, therefore the distance will be equal to square root of 5 units. And that's the distance between the two functions. Don't forget, guys, first thing first, the distance between the two functions, you minus the two function, then they will give you a new function, which is right here. After that, you take what? The first derivative and equate it to 0 so that you solve for x. Whatever x value you found, that will be the distance between the two functions. I am the Gaston Wapala. Let me see you on the next one. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to help our channel grow, and then share this video with your classmates and everybody that really needs it. And I will see you in question